Well, I don't know. I tell you, customers are rough on their mowers. Wow. So let's go down here and look at the Gravely. So this one I'm still waiting on a pulley, but it's mostly done. Got the service done. So all I gotta do is put a PTO and a pulley on that. This is done. This just needed a service. And I'm waiting for the customer to pick this up. This one, I've told you several times that it's been here. This is the third time it's been here. And once again, to give you a little history, and I know trolls absolutely hate it when you repeat yourself. You're just always repeating yourself. If you don't repeat yourself, then you get people, the same trolls, saying something silly like they've never heard previous videos. So the first time I was here, I had to replace the belt and a tensioning spring because it was slipping on the pulleys. Well, when I did that, it exposed that the clutch was bad, and the clutch started slipping. Well, when that happened, it heated up all the wires and melted the wires, so it just stopped working. So he brings it back. This time I take the PTO off. It's an electric PTO. It is completely seated, not the bearings. The bearings are fine. So that proves that the installation was correct. I didn't have it jammed up in there, cockeyed or anything. But the bearings, I'm sorry, the clutch was under so much force somehow or another that it spun and then welded itself. When it welded itself, this is the bracket that holds the PTO. So when it welded itself, it bent it and cracked it. So I did some investigating and I saw that the blades were badly damaged. And I checked them again today and they're actually bent a little bit. And these are brand new blades. The far left one feels like a serrated knife. And they're supposed to be a smooth, flat edge. So he has damaged it. So I tell him that the PTO is damaged from an impact. And he said, oh, my bad, I guess. So he took enough responsibility that in a court of law, a judge is going to see that as an omission. But from an ethical standpoint, he's still suggesting, I guess, it could be my fault, could be his fault. So got the PTO in the other day, but I couldn't get a new, I tried to get a new rotation bracket, anti-rotation bracket, but it was taking forever to get. So I actually submitted some paperwork, or you can file an email with the UPS and this morning, and it showed up today, but I don't think it was because of the email. I just don't think they ever scanned it out of Columbia, Missouri's distribution center. So who knew where it was at? I didn't know. But anyway, it showed up today, so I put it all together. And it's vibrating really bad. So bad that I don't even want to turn it up, the RPMs. The other thing I noticed is it's smoking out of the left cylinder. There's two cylinders. So I go down there, I have Carolyn sit on the mower so I can turn the mower on. And I hate doing this because it's so dangerous that I'm crawling around spinning blades. So I go down there and the PTO is it's doing this. The installation was perfect. It's not making any noise. It's just wobbling. So I have her shut it off, and then I can see up there at the very top. I took a very close look, and the crankshaft's just off, just by a little. So I did some calculations with the help of AI. A human hair is 3/1000 inches thick. The human perception of being able to feel something is about 0.008 of an inch. So a little bit more than a human hair. So the other day, I may have did it on video, I'm not sure. I took a screwdriver down there and I turned the engine over while I was holding the screwdriver against the crankshaft to see if it would wobble, and I didn't feel any wobbling. So let's just say that the wobble or the bend was 0.005 of an inch. Now there was a little bit of vibration when I brought it down here, but you know, different mowers have different personalities, and so I didn't give it a lot of consideration. I mean, I did think about it, but I didn't overthink it. So anyway, I did the calculations and geometry, you know, not geometry, well, I guess it is geometry, you know, with angles and all that. If you have a 0.005 of an inch bend right up here at the top, it's going to exaggerate itself down here at the bottom. But then you got this big, heavy, wide PTO. So by the time you get out to the end of this PTO, well, I guess it'd be like this. You're getting 65 thousandths wobble, and it's massive. So the crankshaft is bent, is my point. I mean, it's just undeniable. So I did a little research just to make sure, you know, I've just been looping on this terribly bad. I don't, you know, I'm trying to figure out if it's my fault. Did I mess this up somewhere? Now, I did go and look the last time I put it on just to make sure that it wasn't wobbling last time. See, when I put it on, it was an aftermarket. The hole diameter on the old one looked a little smaller than the hole diameter on the big one, on our new one. I now know that the hole diameter here is the same all the way through. It's 0.098 inches. Almost, it's 0.002 less than an inch. Well, no, it's actually 1 inch. I'm sorry. The inside diameter is 1 inch. The shaft is 0.098 inches. But when you go deeper down into the new PTO, it's the same size. It's 1 inch. So anyway, I checked it because at that time I wanted to make sure. It was just a simple check, and there was no vibration. But there's a ton of vibration now. So it also explains, I should say, why it's all of a sudden smoking. If we have a bent crankshaft, then when your shaft is inside, your piston's wrapped around, you know, you got your connecting rod. Well, if you cock that connecting rod, it's going to cock your piston up into your cylinder a little bit. That way, that means oil can get now into your compression chamber. And so it's smoking. So, I mean, this is a pretty significant impact. It's pretty bad. The point is this is the engine's shot. It's shot. There's nothing he can do with it. It's the same engine that the Beast has, so it's a very old engine. That mower is a 2004. The Beast is 2000, if that makes it. I don't know if anybody cares. So a 2004 engine, 2004 mower. It's just not worth fixing. Now, here's the thing, is I spent $65 on this part, and I can't return it because I bought it at Parts Tree, and they charge a restocking fee. So no matter what you do, you're going to pay probably 65 bucks, plus the shipping. So, I don't want to take a loss on that. So I did invoice that. I didn't charge him any labor. So, I bet he doesn't pay it. Why would he pay it? If anything, he's going to ask a refund for the belt and the PTO. Well, you didn't fix it the first 2 times. But I do have a little bit of savings grace. He did say, oh, my bad, I guess. So there's not a lot he can do about it. Fortunately, he doesn't live in this particular town, so it's not like he can try to ruin my reputation really bad. I don't even think he found me on Facebook. I think he found me on Google. Of course, he gave me a bad Google review. But I can defend myself. Now, on Google, I can't attach pictures. That's a little bit of a problem. On Facebook, you can attach pictures where he says these things. So I would have to go down and document everything that happened so everybody would know, look, there's no way. This was impacted pretty hard. The thing is I keep doubting myself. Like, man. But the other thing is it's quite common for these things to happen when you hit something. Bent crankshafts, very common. Here's the thing, is a lot of people think that belt should have given when he hit it. When somebody hits it something. And how does a rubber belt bend a shaft? Well, here's the thing. The shaft is only 1 inch diameter, 4 inches long. And it's not a rubber belt, it's Kevlar. And when you put a 1 inch shaft, 4 inches long, up against the Kevlar belt wins every time, according to what I've read. Every time. And it was a brand new belt, so it's not even like it had any wear marks. So, to give you an example, I can bend that crankshaft. If I had a 3-foot bar, breaker bar, I would be able to bend it by hand. If I put the motor on in a vise or something, it wouldn't be that hard to bend, is my point. There's not a lot of metal there. It's going to bend. So, you're running your blades, 18-inch blades, at 200 miles per hour. And when it hits, I mean, think about hitting anything at 200 miles an hour. All that kinetic energy is just traveling through the entire engine. Now, when it got here, it didn't vibrate quite as bad. But you got to remember that anti-rotation bracket was broke. So the whole PTO was spinning along with the crankshaft. And so the rubber mounts on the engine were probably taking up a lot of that vibration. But now that it is locked in there with the anti-rotation bracket, that bracket is shaking the whole engine, or the whole mower now. And it's pretty violent. It's so violent that I don't want to run it at full RPMs. It's pretty bad. So, yeah. I think what bothers me, when he called, he says, I feel like I've been snake bitten. Now that means bad luck. But I interpret it as, I was giving him bad luck. I'm not saying this guy's a bad guy or anything. He seems fairly nice. But when you hit something that hard, you're going to know it. You knew you hit something that hard. I mean, it is absolutely destroyed everything in its wake. But he never mentioned it until I said it's hit something. Then he says, oh, my bad, I guess. Well, yeah, it's your bad. You know you hit something. And you know you hit it well enough that you said, oh, my bad. Otherwise, you would have argued. He didn't argue. So why is he making me go through all these hoops trying to defend myself over something that he knows he did? But this is not the first time people do this. They do it all the time. It's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. I don't know how to explain it. So, anyway, I'm going to jump off of here. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over to my other channel. I'd really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to do your homework so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.